Hey, good morning. Welcome to the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. Hope you're doing well. And it's a Monday. I was going to do something crazy on Monday, but Bull's not here, so she's over there falling asleep somewhere else in the other part of the house. When she does get here, I'll tell you a funny story. It's the story about having control, which we all don't have control. Anyway, don't want to talk about today. I'll make it simple. Talk about refinement. Going through my brain on a discussion I had the other day. And what is a refinement meeting? What is it about? And I'm going to say it may not be what you think it is. It may be exactly what you think it is, but it may not be. And we're going to talk about that. Is it more of a story issue, story ready, or is it about technical architecture or planning of completing the story, solutioning? So we're going to talk about that today, or is it something else? Anyway, it's 5 a.m. Mester Scrum. I am Greg Mester, Scrum Master and Agile Coach. Hope you're doing well today. Here we talk about Scrum and Agile in a very practical and tactical sense. So you can bring value to your customer, not work crazy hours to get that value, and have some fun along the way. So I gave an answer of it depends, but I caveat. So I'm going to give you an answer that says depends. You might not like it. Because everyone hears that it depends on what's going on. So I put a little caveat or give them a warning that you're going to get one. I don't like just saying it depends. I said, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to give you the response you're not going to like, but I'm going to tell you what I'm going to tell you that. And I got to follow up on it. So question was on refinement meeting. What is a refinement meeting about? And I'm going to say there's a debate out there because I was challenged. I said, you agile coaches, you always have different answers, different things. Well, yeah, there is. But it depends on why. And I would make a clarification. I disagree with a lot of the agile coaches out there when they get down this hole because that's what the way they coach it. And it's not. I pretty darn well accepted it's not about that. So, refinement meeting. It's really about making sure a story meets your team's definition ready, or maybe invest principle. A lot of teams in their definition ready include the invest idea in their definition ready, and what it has to be small enough, has to be testable, has to be debatable, has to have value to it, right? It has to fit in a sprint, but also it has to meet what the team wants for definition ready. Does it have a description? Sometimes you don't need a lot of stuff. Does it have an acceptance criteria? Depends what they want. Majority of my refinement sessions are all about the product owner, whoever crafts the story, who brings it to the team, says, hey, my story is meeting the definition already. I want to present it to you and get a last minute check, give you an idea what's coming down the pike. And they kind of go over, and if it's good, they'll size it. If it's not good and they need more information, they'll send it back to the person who wrote it to say, hey, we need some more clarity. Getting the story ready to be worked, right? There is people out there that will say, and I want to say some coaches maybe, that say, well, it's about doing a high level architectural discussion. It's about coming up with some initial solution ideas. So you get an idea what it's going to take to solve the problem. I would debate at that. And this is, well, I'm going to give you another one. I'm not a fan of that. I'm going to put it that way. I'm not a fan of that because it depends how far out you do your refinement sessions. You never know when your story is going to be worked in a sprint. You're better off doing that technical analysis in the sprint, the first day of the sprint, what I call sprint planning day, where you go and try to figure out your solutioning, how you want to do it, and have that discussion from a technical perspective. All you really want in a refinement session is whether or not a story is good or not. Now, some would say the refinement session should involve that discussion. I would say at a high level, if you point it, is there complexity to it? But that's as high, as deep as I go. Is there complexity? Is a lot of stuff. Then maybe you size it up bigger a little than what you normally would. Some would say, oh, we need to have a little technical discussion. Here's my problem with that. If you have business people, because ideally, and this is where it's getting to where I'm going to say, here's the other story. Ideally, it's a chance for the team to sit with stakeholders or whoever writes these stories, the business side, and ask questions about the business aspect of the story. You want this, you that, and ask them, give or take on some questions. If you go technical, the business people are never going to show up to your refinement sessions. I'll tell you that right now. They're not going to go. They don't want to hear about databases. They don't want to hear about API calls. They don't want to hear about some kind of UI framework or whatever you need. They don't want to hear about automated tests. They don't want to hear it. Sorry, to bust your bubble. So if you go too technical and your plan is to get, so now here's where the thing is. My thing is I'd rather have business information about the story. So we as technical people, we can solve any problem. I don't need business people to be in the room when we talk about how we want to solve a technical problem. You should not need them in the room when you talk about solving a business problem. That's all the reason why people don't show up at sprint planning, because a lot of teams go into a rabbit hole on the technical solutions and the business people never show up again. True. Right? You can debate that with me. They're not going to show up. I'm just talking real here, practical. So what else is there? Because here's the question as an agile coach, right? So I told you what refinement meeting is. It's about the story. Is it ready? That's what it's about. It's not about technical solution in any sense of the word, other than, yeah, it's a little bigger. That's a little more complex. Oh, here's a dependence. Yeah, we're going to need to talk to so-and-so about making that happen. We haven't worked with them in a while, so it's going to be a little more risky. Boom. That's the conversation. Now, it depends what the team needs. Does the team need more business feedback? If they need more business feedback, then my version of a refinement meeting, or that time box as a refinement meeting, is more appropriate. However, if the team needs more guidance and how to solution things, how to lay stuff out, they may need the later where they need that time box. And I'm calling it a time box because I'm not going to call it a refinement meeting. I'm going to call it a time box session to help lay out the architecture more for stories, do more of a technical analysis. Maybe they have the business side understanding well enough that they don't need that. So this is where the other option is. Maybe it is the other. Maybe it's one or the other. Maybe the question is, what does the team want? Rather than me come and tell the team what they should do as an agile coach or a scrum master, you need to do a refinement session. It needs to be this, 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 and this. Or you need to do a refinement session. It needs to be technical, this, and this. Maybe that is not the right approach. The approach is, okay, there's a couple debates on how this refinement goes. One is more information and time with the customer, and one is more time with you as a group, as technical people. There's some debate on the timing of that. If you do it too early, you're going to have to readdress this again later on, because the gap between when you had this conversation about technical solutions, when you actually do the work, could be a month. Theoretically, it could be longer. What do you as a team would like to do? Would you like to have more time in front of the customer, or would you like more time to debate the technical solutions? Maybe that's the more appropriate question, rather than us point this is exactly what to do. Maybe it depends on what they want. So before you pick which version you want to do, may I suggest ask the team what they would prefer, because I can do either way. I can go either way in either facet. It doesn't. I've done this enough times. It doesn't matter. But what does matter is what the team thinks they need to accomplish their mission, to get things done. What would help them? Would it be more information about the story and the business side, or more information about the technical side and how they want to solution it? Do they need to spend more time? Maybe there's some longer poles in the tent that just need to be covered, and they really need to have those discussions because the work they're doing is so complex. So that's what I want to offer to you. Three things. Is it that? Is it this? Or is it something else? Right? Is it where you ask them what would they like? So maybe you take that time box you would spend in a refinement session. Now here's a couple options. Which one would you want to do? Which one do you think? And we can always go back and forth depending on how well we do it, getting work done in the sprint. So I wanted to offer that out to you. It's a Monday. I didn't want to go too crazy, but make you think about that before you say, team, you should do refinement sessions and they're about story readiness. Team, you should do refinement sessions and they're about laying out the complexity of the solution. Maybe you should say, which one would you like? There you go. That's your Monday. I hope you have a great day. Happy scrumming and see you soon. Take care. Bye. And there's no bubbles here. Well, it's sad.